Hello, in this video I am going to talk about strategy design pattern. I made video related to solid principles and design patterns as well. I will give the links of those video in the description of this video. So design pattern and solid principles are closely related to each other to design your system effectively. So to make your system manageable and easily scalable and architect your software system very well, you have to use design pattern and solid principle and the combination of those. So today I am going to talk about strategy design pattern, and this design pattern is very much closely related to open closed principle of which is one of the solid principles. So what is strategy design pattern? Strategy design pattern is a behavioral design pattern. It lets you define family of algorithms, put each of them into a separate class, and make their objects interchangeable. So what does it mean? It means that suppose a client needs to perform a business task, and that particular business task may have several ways to do. It can have 5 or 6 strategies, or even more than that. In that case, for each strategy, you can declare a separate class and make their objects interchangeable. I will show the implementation a little later, so watch the video till the end. When to use strategy pattern when you want to use different variants of an algorithm within an object and be able to switch from one algorithm to another during runtime. Use strategy pattern when you have a lot of similar classes that only differ in the way they execute some identical types of behavior. For example, a client can have a print functionality. A client can print a document in various formats. In that case, we can use strategy pattern. When there is a need to do different types of business tasks, that can be done independently. When there are possibilities to extend a class further to serve different business tasks. Use strategy pattern when your class has lots of conditional statements that switches between different variants of the same algorithm. And when there is a need to extend code without affecting or touching the existing code, you can leverage strategy design pattern. The advantage of that are separation of concerns, easy to maintain your code, easy to understand your code, easy to test your code, increased reusability of your code, and facilitates parallel development by multiple developers or multiple teams. Okay, all right. Now I am going to show you the implementation of strategy design pattern. Suppose in this implementation, I will show you a brief small sample business implementation so that you can understand the design pattern, strategy design pattern well. So here in this sample application, I will have a business like the client may have a requirement where he or she will need to print a document in various formats, like it can be PDF format or Excel format or CSV format or docx format. So in that case, we can use strategy pattern because the purpose of the business is same, which is printing the document, but the strategy is different because the document can be printed in various formats and each format will follow different strategy. So here I have an interface which is called iStrategy. I have a method as an example which is called save report. This method will save your report in the specified format. So I'll pass the format and pass the content of the document. For now, I have declared as a string type. And to implement this iStrategy interface, I have declared 3 classes. One is for PDF format, one is for Word doc, and one is for Excel. If other formats comes in, I will create, let's say, CSV format. I will create a class CSV and we'll implement the iStrategy interface. We'll implement the method. So you can already realize that this is very much related to open close principle of solid principles. And now in the context class, I have declared iStrategy and I have assigned the iStrategy with the iStrategy object for the constructor of this class. And in this class, I have a method which is actually calling the interface method. In the program, the client will give the input, let's say the input format of the document and the content. For now, I have an empty content. And here, if client passes the Excel if I run the application, it is printing the type of document XLS, which means it is using the Excel class and type, and this is actually printing in the std out. So here, based on the conditions, I have assigned the context class object. I have initialized the context class object with the constructor and passing the different class. And in the context, since those classes are implementing the strategy interface, those classes can be assigned to the interface. And based on the type of the class, we are actually calling the particular method of those classes. So basically, strategy interface does not know anything about the conditions or user input, and context class also does not know. The client class will take the responsibility of choosing or passing the particular format, and the context class will pass those format, use this format, and based on the format that is passed from the client, it will call the save report of a particular class and will do the work accordingly. So in concrete, here strategy pattern, I have multiple ways to print a particular document in various formats, but format types are passed, taken input from the user and passed from the client, and the strategy is only actually using the type of the format and do the works accordingly. So I think you have understood that strategy is very useful. Strategy pattern is very useful to separate your business logic and the separation of your algorithms of different strategy. So it is very much maintainable, and it is also obeying the open close principle. So this is the strategy pattern as a whole. Thank you.